Rayfield Wright will not play, and Cooper starting. Dupre, of course, at tight end.
And back deep, there they are. Ron Springs, the first rookie to start since 1969 for Dallas, when Calvin Hill received that honor.
And great people at the skill positions. Dallas is super at those great spots.
This is the first play now, just across the 15-yard line. In motion goes Jay Salvi. Up the middle, Ron Springs trying to go outside, and the rookie from Ohio State is dropped. Good play that time by Steve Niels, the left side linebacker. And Ron Springs, boy, what a preseason he has had as we look now at the defense for the Cardinals. Up front, Bob Pollard, Dawson, and Davis.
This is an attacking defense. This is the thing that St. Louis likes, with those hitters as linebackers. And the secondary is still a question mark.
Roger Worley is playing with knee trouble. He sustained a strained knee in the last preseason game, but he's in the starting lineup. Second down now, 8 yards to go. Roger Staubach, far side, complete to Drew Pearson. And Pearson is out of bounds across the 21 to the 22-yard line, apparently a first down, and they went against the All-Pro, Roger Worley.
Rather interesting, too, that on the very first play that Landry had thrown a little wrinkle with 2 tight ends in the game. Saldi, who was sort of an outside receiver, but Dupre and he were both in the game on that first running play.
They say, Tom, that Dallas has 94 fronts. They make so many moves around.
94 fronts?
Some of them don't mean a lot. They just disguise the product.
As long as they have 94 backs, right?
First down on that 9-yard pickup. First down from the 27-yard line. Staubach to Springs. Springs, good cutback. And Springs is out to the 33-yard line. Tom Rafferty threw a big block from that right-hand side for Dallas.
This is the reason that Landry was not afraid to start number 20, wearing Mel Renfro's old number. He's a 203-pounder, a 4.5 40 fella that led the Big Ten as a junior. Then got nicked and had a little bit of an off senior year, and it was a good draft choice by Gil Brandt and the Dallas Cowboys, no doubt about it.
There's your stats, 2nd and 4. Springs was the most sought-after player when he came out of Williamsburg, Virginia, going to Coffeyville Junior College, and then on to Ohio State. From the 33, Roger Staubach with a good protection. He's going deep to Tony Hill. Tony Hill with the catch. Carl Allen was the man who could not get back quick enough on defense. And Tony Hill, who wants to be the premier wide receiver in the NFL.
Protection now. Springs goes to the left. Everybody sets up. Pretty good protection for Roger. A beautiful throw, by the way. Clean as hell. Now watch this catch by number 80. On the ball as it's thrown, he's about as good as there is. That's Allen in his way. Let's watch the rush now. The 30 rush without a linebacker blitz sometimes doesn't get pressure.
That was a 44-yard completion that time to Tony Hill, setting it up at the St. Louis 22-yard line. That's Dupree in motion. Staubach to Springs, and Springs this time in trouble. Steve Niels made sure of that. The left side linebacker, Charlie Davis, the nose tackle, they played that well.
Well, Charlie Davis is coming back off a knee surgery job of a year ago. Watch right in the center of your screen. Watch the big fella beat the center's block and get into the flow and simply stress off the tackle. Good defensive play in the Dallas backfield.
They're going to lose 4 on that. 2nd and 14 from the 26-yard line.
Better get Billy Joe Dupre and throw a rope on him.
Boy, I tell you, this Dallas offense, they show you so many looks, so versatile, they can hurt you so many ways. Saldi in motion. There's a quick handoff to Bob Newhouse. Robert Newhouse to the 20-yard line. Hit by Ken Green, the strong safety, and the Eagles. They trailed early in that game, 3-0.
Yeah, Campfield has scored on a 1-yard run, and now Harold Carmichael has a 7-yard touchdown pass from Ron Jaworski, and that will be the 98th straight game for Carmichael to catch a pass in the National Football League. That's a lot of games.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd down and 8. Staubach, big blitz. He's in trouble. Dropped. A great rush was put on that time by Lee Nelson. Incomplete pass. But what a pressure situation he was in on that play.
It's a cornerback blitz. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see the defensive back coming. Roger just does get set up. And let's see if it's going forward. Yeah, his arm was going forward, but that ball did a hang job. Lee Nelson was the blitzer.
Lee Nelson, who a couple of years ago was really picked on by Roger Staubach. He threw 18 passes at him when Nelson was starting for the first time.
Boy, he really laid his ears back and came.
There's a score. Tampa Bay getting off on good footing against Detroit. Seption will now attempt a 48-yard, make it a 38-yard field goal, and this kick is good. Seption, who last week defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers with 2 seconds remaining in the preseason. We're ready to go now after the Cowboys took the initial kickoff and marched for the field goal. This is Willard Harrell on the kickoff, and he brings it out to the 28-yard line. Dennis Thurman, a second-year man from USC, making the stop, and we have 2 men shaken up at the 20-yard line.
Let's watch Hollywood Henderson, number 56. He has sort of calmed down his act. He said he's not going to talk as much and just do the tackling. And I'll tell you, number 56 can play the tight end, too. Wait till you see him play defense. Is that Hollywood is down? He was in on that tackle.
I think it's Aaron Mitchell, the rookie out of Nevada. 41 mark of this first quarter. The last play, we had 2 men shaken up. Aaron Mitchell and also Roy Green for the Cardinals. They're off the playing field at this moment. From the 28, Al Chandler will jump into that tight end spot as they start usually from the Y backfield. Jim Hart wants to throw on first down. Protection is beautiful. And the intended receiver, Mel Gray. Benny Barnes defending on the play.
Good play by Barnes. And, of course, Mel Gray, on the first play, even warming up, he was already yelling at Cliff Harris. He has great days against the Dallas Cowboys, even this great defense.
Boy, they've changed it, haven't they, on that left side?
That Stalzo's put on some weight at that left tackle. Cole can play solid anywhere. And, of course, White and Martin, they should be on Krypton.
And what a linebacking core that is with Hollywood on the left-hand side.
But the secondary is going to be in trouble when they go to the nickel defense if Aaron can't play.
This is Otis Anderson, the #1 draft pick for the Cardinals, and he advances the ball to the 31-yard line. Larry Cole applying the clincher on him. Cole playing in place of Too Tall Jones. They say Cole just does a steady job.
A steady job, but this is a very fine offensive line. And we're talking about Larry Cole is having to play over Dan Deerdorf. This is from the eye now. They run with the tight end right in that up wishbone position. And that's Larry Cole that got away from Deerdorf, and that is not easy to do. That is a very fine offensive line the Cardinals have.
3rd down and 7. In motion comes Anderson. Flag on the play. Hard back protection there, intended for Tilley, and defending was Aaron Kyle. But a flag went into the air just about the time that play developed.
Tilley's got the good hands, the shorter, if not faster moves. He's the guy you'd go to on a 3rd down play.
That's offside against Dallas. And so the Cardinals will take that 5-yard penalty. Fred Wyatt, the referee in charge of this game. It was 80 degrees at kickoff time. Relative humidity at 60%. It is warm.
Offside, number 79, defense. 3rd down.
Harvey Martin stealing the line of scrimmage.
Be 3rd and 2. I wouldn't want to tell Harvey Martin he did anything.
He's really a pretty nice guy. The 3 hours on either Sunday or Monday or Thursday night, that's the only time he's a bad person, right?
And that's the Sunday, isn't it, day? Sunday, I think it is.
That's when he plays.
3rd down and 2. This is Wayne Morris, and Morris breaks it out across the 40. He's got the first down to the 41. D.D. Lewis, one of the most underrated players on the team, according to Tom Landry, made the tackle.
Well, let's set the offensive line as we do this now. From left to right, you're watching it. It's Wortman, Big Bob Young, Brahaney in there, Steve, and Deerdorf. And I thought I heard a lot of yelling by the Dallas defense then when the man in motion went to the other side. It sounded like they might have had to switch their flex, move around a little bit.
With the 1st and 10 now from the 41. What they do by moving that tight end around is they make a linebacker line up against the tight end. They're trying to dictate who does, and they want Henderson doing that. Here is O.J. Anderson. Boy, look at the drive by him. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Bob Brunig making the tackle.
Watch Bob Young now. He's playing left guard. You can see him 64 at 282 pounds. So that's straight ahead against Randy White. Randy White bench presses about 420, and Bob Young bench presses about 660. They're incredibly strong.
Look at the Eagles now, Tom. They're pulling ahead.
It's another Carmichael touchdown pass. This one for 41 yards from Jaworski.
2nd and 5. Hart using the rookie Anderson, showing he can run inside very effectively. There's a give to Anderson again, and he's got the first down. He just dragged tacklers with him. Randy White called Manster, coming up with a stop. This is what they said about Anderson. He's tough inside.
But interesting that they would be running him inside. Everybody thought they got him for outside speed because defenses cheated last year on the Cardinals. But I'll tell you, 216, you go to 4-3-5 or a 4-4, you can hurt people inside.
And we were going to have a score in that Minnesota-San Francisco game, and the 49ers, who had a tough preseason, but Minnesota didn't.
This one was Malone, a 1-yard run, 17-6, and they got a long way to go in that game.
Buffalo, Miami, I think that was a blocked field goal, wasn't it? 76-yard return. Buffalo with the lead in that one. First down, 10 from the 49 of Dallas. Hart on a give up the middle again.
Good tackle. Woo.
You can see how quick that forward wall is for Dallas. When Randy White plays up there, he just changes a lot of things.
Well, you know, Anderson, O.J. Anderson, has a little bit of, as somebody said here, the Jimmy Brown move. He can sort of skate a little bit. He'll slide a lot like Metcalf used to do. Now he's coming out of the game. But I really like number 32. He'll go where he's not supposed to go, and the coach won't say a thing because he's going to score a lot of touchdowns.
What did he do? Lose the thigh pad? Have it taped on. Willard Harrell has replaced him now at the running back spot. 2nd down and 9 from the 48. This is Wayne Morris, and Morris, he stuffed up on that play, short of the 45. A flag, though.
Randy White really made a play. He went right through Bob Young and Brahaney and just right to the point of attack and cut the ball carrier right down.
Boy, they spotted some in that pile, though, because the flag was thrown on top, just about where Morris's forward progress was stopped. Situation being explained, however, to Brunig and Dallas. So it's going to evidently go against St. Louis.
Remember, Randy White gets stronger and meaner as the game progresses. In the 4th period, by the time you've gotten a little tired on offense, he is running over you.
Let's listen now.
Holding number 72, offense. 2nd down.
That's Dan Deerdorf.
Hey, you don't get many yellow flags on him. He doesn't have to hold people. Not often.
2nd down, 19 now from the 42-yard line. 3-0. The Cowboys with the lead. Seption with a 38-yard field goal on the initial series of this game.
And now the 3-man front and the nickel defense for Dallas. And, boy, you got to be a real smart guy to set up against this and get it off. And Hart is that.
Hart with that quick release sends Morris in motion. Pressure by Martin from the near side, far side, and the catch is made by Wayne Morris, but he went out of bounds. He tried to make a move up the field. They're going to be way short of the first down, but they pick up some of that as Mike Hagman, the linebacker, defending on the play.
You know what you love to have in a quarterback is an old head and a young arm. Watch this. This arm is so lively this year. He's in the best health I think I've ever seen Jim Hart. And nobody takes a two-step drop and doing a better job of getting the ball loaded and on its way than Hart. I think he's about as good as there is in that situation.
They still have 13 yards to go. It's 3rd down. Hart coming off his most productive year, over 3,000 yards in passing. In fact, both quarterbacks in this game went over 3,000 yards in 1978.
Oh,
and they're coming after him.
Hello.
And first to get there is Tom Henderson, the 40-yard line. They didn't disguise that very well, but they didn't have to.
And everybody covered, Gary, downfield. 2 receivers were trying to run 9 streaking. And Hart very, very sharply decided, let's take the loss here. Watch this group coming. This is when you clean the gun, get the dogs together, and try to get out alive.
Well, Hart got out alive, but they're going to lose the football. It's 4th down, 21 yards, and Steve Little, look at that, sacks last year. Looks like they're going to have another good year in that department. Little will do the punting for St. Louis.
He's a #1 draft choice. He better start doing a lot of punting.
He'll also kick off, but Mike Wood will do all the placement kicking, that being the field goals and the point after. And Little, this is Wade Manning, going to let it hit, and it's taking a St. Louis bounce. Manning gets away from it, and the Cardinals are coming out of that in excellent shape. That was not that well kicked. Fairfield did a good job of letting that ball get all it could out of the roll. And from the 5-yard line, the Cowboys with a 3-0 lead. Up the middle, Newhouse. Boy, it's tough there, isn't it? 7-yard line is where he'll be, a pickup of 2. Newhouse had an excellent year last year. Then he sustained the injury.
Yeah, but how about the way he came back? he fractured a leg, and he's got such tremendous calcium and tenacious bones and all. He was back in like 3 weeks trying to play. Landry had to try to take up his uniform, or Newhouse would have played right through the darn injury.
He almost had 600 yards rushing as it was. Boy, Philadelphia, they got a field goal again.
That's Franklin, Tony Franklin from Texas Aggies, a 46-yard field goal, and he was the number 3 draft. Looks like the Eagles made a good pick.
2nd down and 8 from the 7-yard line. Also, you can see San Francisco building their lead. Here's Staubach on the sprint out.
Oh, boy.
And Dupree, the big tight end. Beautiful execution. Carl Allen making the stop, but Staubach showing his mobility on that play. That'll drive cornerbacks crazy.
And the great thing is, watch how Roger takes a lot of stuff off this throw. It's a very easy throw. It's a clean pass. He doesn't panic. He's been back on the end zone before the edge. Watch this. It's just a tight little spiral. His big tight end, who has, again, those tremendously large hands. He's played in 44 straight games at tight end, by the way. So Billy Jones, make that.
And there he is from last year, 34 catches in the Pro Bowl, and that was a 19-yard completion. 1st down at the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
Staubach back to Newhouse again, and Newhouse to the 31-yard line. Newhouse running off the left-hand side behind Donovan and Herbert Scott. Kind of an unsung player in that forward wall at that guard spot. Ken Green, the strong safety, up to make the stop for St. Louis. Be 2nd down and still 5 yards to go. Dupree comes in as Doug Cosby, their 3rd-round draft pick from Santa Clara, checks out.
A 4.740 for that Cosby, who is 6'6", about 245. Another Gil Brandt find. I don't know where he gets them. They come out of school, too. They don't come out of the mines.
And the computer. 2nd and 5 from the 31. They kept 3 tight ends this year, which they usually don't do. Here is Staubach. Newhouse end around reverse to Tony Hill, but it didn't fool anybody. But Hill's making some running room out of it anyway, out to the 37-yard line. Boy, that was defense well by St. Louis. Jim Cooper throwing a block, but Hill did a good job just getting back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
A lot of people think Dallas shouldn't have done that in the Super Bowl game. They should have stayed with straight football and stopped throwing it around. But what this does against a real scrambling bunch of hitters like St. Louis is make them start staying home and play in their areas and stop chasing all over the field. Even if it looks semi-successful, it sets up a lot of other calls that Roger and the bench might have.
It was enough for a 1st down also. Not a big gainer, but a 1st down pickup from the 37-yard line. Staubach, protection's excellent. Off it comes to Springs to the 40-yard line. Ron Springs showing he can catch that football. As you know, Ohio State started throwing it a little bit last year. Tim Carney making the tackle.
Woody Hayes did a lot of things last year.
So from the 40-yard line, it'll bring up 2nd and 7.
I like that Springs, though. And that's one thing about Ohio State football. If you have come out of there, you will accept punishment and also deal it out. You like to hit.
Another Ohio State football player not in uniform today, retiree Jim Otis.
Boy, it's hard to believe he's not in a Cardinal uniform, though.
Jankowski now comes in defensively at left end. He's joined by Keith Simons and John Zook. The Cardinals trying to keep fresh people in that forward wall. Here's Springs. Look at that diving attempt by Carney. Springs is out of bounds at the 41, but Tim Carney went flying through the air.
Newhouse saved his life. Springs' life. He cuts off the linebacker and puts him up over. Watch Newhouse now cut back to his inside. He will see the linebacker coming sort of out of a different place. This is a weak side run. Now watch the 44 spin back and take Carney. They went all over for the rookie from Ohio State.
3rd down and 6 now. As the Cardinals make some changes defensively, they get out of their Carney along with Steve Niels. They bring in another defensive back. That would be Lee Nelson.
It's the best 3rd down offense in football last year. The only team over 50%.
And guess who's come in for Dallas on a passing situation? Preston Pearson.
Why not?
From the shotgun. Staubach's got a lot of time again. And he finds his man, Tony Hill. And Hill has a 1st down catch at the 41 of St. Louis. Staubach is just looking outstanding here in this 1st game of the year.
Did you notice, though, that Tony Hill decided, I better go back to get the ball? And how did he know he was still in bounds and not over the line? Now, you're right behind Roger Staubach. As we said, the best offense on 3rd down was the Dallas Cowboy offense. Watch this now. Again, no panic. Boy, Roger is really in extremely good shape and really sharp for the open. Look at this throw. And here comes Hill back, and he knows he's inside and free. It's good.
Tony Hill coming back on that, and New Orleans, boy, what a battle that's going to be with Atlanta. They lost both those games to the Falcons the last second last year. Here is Newhouse. And Newhouse, look at the leg drive on him to the 35-yard line. And that's going to bring up still 4 yards short of the first down. But Newhouse, he's like money in the bank when you have him back there.
Speaking of money in the bank, that was an Archie Manning touchdown pass to Ike Harris that got New Orleans on the scoreboard in a 7-0 lead. I think the Saints are going to be a team to worry about.
2nd down and 4 from the 35 of St. Louis. We have 3:09 remaining in this first quarter, and Dallas has sustained 2 pretty long drives already.
Ball possession, huh?
It counts a lot, doesn't it? This is Springs on the cutback inside the 30. He's got the first down, and he showed some veteran-type running on that play.
Maybe that's the reason that Tony Dorsett worked so hard all week and wanted to play today. Maybe he sees in Springs a very fine ball carrier.
You believe he was a 5th-round pick. Dallas always seems to come up with those free agents, those late-round draft choices that everybody else wondered where they came from.
If they go back and get records on them from the hospital out till they've grown up, what were they like in the crib, you know?
There's Tom Landry, 13 consecutive winning years. Look at that, first in ball control. That is a big statistic in this National Football League.
32 minutes a game, they have it on offense.
Here's Staubach on the play action. Niels, he gets away from him. He comes back and gets him. Steve Niels, that's tenacity, isn't it? He stayed with him all the way. Mike Dawson also put some pass rush on as Staubach is dropped.
Niels is a 215-pounder out of Minnesota. And watch the effort, because if you don't have effort on this one, boy, I bet Tommy Bettis, the defensive coordinator, is happy, because Niels misses him once. And usually don't get 2 shots at Roger. He's such a cagey devil, right? Now the midshipman this time goes down with all guns blazing. Dawson was in there to help, too.
Going to bring up 2nd and 15 from just inside the 35-yard line.
Darn, it's a good football game for the first one of the season, though. Very crisp, huh?
Boy, when these two get together, Tom, it's amazing. A bitter rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys won first, both of them, the first time since '73 they had done that. Here's Staubach, far side, intended receiver Pearson, Worley defending. Did he have it? No.
Boy, there's 2 All-Pros. You want to see a ballet? Watch this one, and also watch the pass blocking by Dallas. It was excellent. No penetration, but great coverage by Roger Worley with a short out, the toughest thing you can do, and he just gets it out of Drew Pearson's hands. Boy, that's a standoff. Watch this blocking. Go out and get them, fellas, right up there. There's an A+.
Hey, Roger is coming out throwing. He's already thrown 7 passes, hit 5 of them as we come to 3rd and 15, and they go to the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. He's able to get away from it. The chase is on by Arneson. Wide open is Cosby. He couldn't get back to the football.
Looked like something from the Super Bowl. I felt like it was deja vu. The way number 84 bounced around in the end zone, huh? The ball badly underthrown by Roger Staubach after a great scramble.
Boy, you wonder how a guy like Cosby gets so wide open. But again, that's what can happen when you have a guy as mobile as Staubach. He just makes things happen like that.
It looks like out of that 34 defense, they get a blitz situation, and somebody just released the off tight end completely. Look at that frustration.
You think they might show that film? Somebody's going to find out who blew that assignment.
But the scorecard don't have pictures, baby. He didn't catch it, did he?
That's right. And so, Danny White has come in to punt. It's 4th and 15. White will be punting with a cast on his right thumb, which has hindered him. He cannot play quarterback, but I wonder if he could still throw out of the rookie out of Oklahoma. White from his own 45-yard line.
He'll be trying to get it out inside the 20 with a nail, as they say.
White, by the way, is averaging over 44 yards a kick in the preseason despite that injury. He's going to go for the corner. Beautiful kick.
He might have it.
Down there is Benny Barnes, but it's going to make it in for the touchback. Benny Barnes back there with Perry Smith trying to get into position. But that's going to bring it out to the 20-yard.
I bet Pat and the captain are glad that it's a good day back there, right?
From the 20-yard line. First down after a 39-yard kick by Danny White. 1:22 to go. First quarter, the Cowboys with a 3-0 lead. Hard again on first down. Over the middle, complete. Big tight end that time. Chandler with the catch, and at the 25-yard line, a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5.
Boy, I'd like to say it right now. J.V. Kane was a superior talent and happened to come from my old school at Colorado. And if J.V. Kane was on the field right now for St. Louis, they would have about the best tight end possible in uniform. And, of course, he did pass away in training camp, and the team was all there, and they came out of it in pretty good shape, and they put it back together. But J.V. Kane was a great talent and a very fine young person.
This is O.J. Anderson fighting his way to the 29. That's the reason, of course, for the black armbands that the Cardinals are wearing due to the untimely death of J.V. Kane. But we've been told, and if you watch films, that Chandler may be the best blocking tight end they've had in years.
He just doesn't have the speed, that overall versatility that J.V. had, the going deep possibility.
3rd down, a yard to go. Theodis Brown now comes into the lineup for the first time. He's their 2nd-round draft pick out of UCLA, and they are very, very high on him.
225 pounds. He also has about a 4.55 speed.
So they have a full house backfield on a 3rd and 1. This is Anderson. Oh, what a hit. He's got the first down. But did you see the quick feet as he came across the line of scrimmage and ran into Randy Hughes?
All right, Hughes made a good tackle, but on a short yardage situation, he almost broke out and went about 80 yards with it. Watch how close Anderson comes to breaking this right out and get through that one thin line and perhaps go down the field.
So that's the end of the first. I'm Gary Benders. We start the 2nd quarter. 3-0. Dallas with the lead on a 38-yard field goal. A moment ago, O.J. Anderson in a bulldozing effort picked up a first down, and here he has the football again. He's out to the 34-yard line.
Boy, Wilkinson has really an interesting game plan that he's running inside on the best rushing defensive team in the world last year. And what he's telling them is, hey, fella, we're not the same Cardinals that you played last year where we were getting 110 yards rushing. Big difference, because now Mel Gray, when he is called, is going to be flat out running free.
It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go. I think it shows again when Bud said we're going to make it to the playoffs. He feels they have the people on the field, the talent to do it this year. He's not fancy right now, as you mentioned. Hart on the 2nd down, a delay to Wayne Morris. Morris out to the 40, and Morris apparently has the first down. Randy White caught him, but Morris made a play that looked like it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was all stuffed up in the middle.
Watch Terry Steve, the right guard. Watch number 68 make a good play in the right part of your screen. Watch this. He sets back up like it's a pass, and he'll turn the Dallas. There he takes. Deerdorf has turned cold to the outside, and Steve turns back to the inside. I'll never forget Morris today. He had over 180 against Minnesota on an afternoon doubleheader game that was outstanding.
He was the only Cardinal last year to go over 100 yards. That was against Washington. A 9-yard pickup on the play. First down from the 44. Hart wanting to throw on first down throughout the course of this game. Protection is there. Interception. Picked off by Aaron Kyle. Intended receiver was Mel Gray, but Aaron Kyle had played that perfectly.
And Jimmy Hart was not rushed either. This is an unusual Hart. Look at him. He's like a golfer that just snap hooked on 18 and knocked it out of bounds, but he liked to have this one back. Good pass protection. Loads it up and underthrows, and Kyle just sits there and takes it in.
For the interception by Aaron Kyle, the Cowboys have a 3-0 lead. They scored at the 11:50 mark of the first quarter.
Think Roger will air it out pretty quick?
Neither one of these teams has been reluctant to throw the football. This is Newhouse. Newhouse gets outside across the 45, and he's close to the 50-yard line and about a yard short of the first down. Drew Pearson threw a good block on that play. Washington, well, Houston coming back a little bit.
It's a great call on that play, too. That's the safest pass I can think of to air it out, is to give it to number 44. I like it.
Well, you're always a defensive back, not an offensive quarterback.
Did you see how low Allen had to get to tackle number 44? Then he had to go under the chalk mark. That's the left part of it. Let's see if you can. Ooh, there it is. Drew Pearson cracking back. Remember, he had to hit above the waist, or that would have been a foul. And most of the rules have been put in to keep the injuries down, and I'm all for that, too.
On a 2nd and 2, Newhouse has the first down. These are the 45-yard line. Nothing fancy, but just hard to bring down. Eric Williams making the tackle.
Well, what do you tackle? What are you grabbing by the radiator? You know, it's like a low-built slug coming through there.
Well, he's 5'10". He weighs 215. And look at the stats on this guy. As we mentioned, he was hurt last year. He broke a bone in the right leg, and he was out the next 3 games and still almost had 600 yards. Newhouse has 33 yards on 6 carries, and this partisan Cardinal crowd right now, they're waiting for some fireworks for their home team. Here's Staubach. And that is Tony Hill dropping the pass, and you won't see that very often. And he's having a conversation with the Cardinal bench about it.
That's because he didn't want to go back to the Dallas coaches and talk about it.
Hill last year with 46 catches. He made the Pro Bowl after a rookie year, really just playing as a punt returner and a special teams performer.
Great talent, though.
Preston Pearson now comes in. Ron Springs checks out. Look at that, 823 yards. The other side, Pearson had 44 catches. That's pretty good balance, isn't it?
Boy.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Staubach again, a busy man in the passing department. Got it to Newhouse. Some running room. Newhouse staying on his feet, and he is to the 36-yard line. It's going to be a yard short of the first down.
It was a good screen, and I think that number 44 could have stayed inside and maybe gotten 30 or 35 more yards out of it. And again, it's real easy up here. Down there, it's one big blur, but an excellent call. Not the best receiver, but pretty safe.
When you got guys like the 2 Pearsons and Hill, you don't have to throw to Newhouse very often.
That's true.
9-yard pickup, and it's a yard short. 3rd down coming up from the 36 of St. Louis.
Big play here.
Dupree has come into the lineup along with Saldi as they have both tight ends in. This is Newhouse. Look at the hole. He may break this one. It's 1-on-1, and he's all the way to the 15, and Carl Allen's got him at the 13-yard line. Carl Allen had to bulldog him to get him down.
Again, I said it earlier when Anderson almost broke against the Dallas defense, and that short yardage defense. Watch the block by Scott, number 68, to the right of your screen. Watch this. He takes the big fella and just buries him, turns the defensive end out, and one missed tackle, and you do have a problem. Old Stubby's going to get you. And he almost carried the defensive back, Allen, into the end zone. Here's another angle of that. A short yardage defense will stop people after a yard, but if you get through that, you can ramble.
He already has 54 yards on 7 carries. On a first down, Springs. Good tackle that time by Charlie Davis. Davis, who was sidelined the first game of last year on a knee injury against Chicago. He's back in there. They moved Mike Dawson, who was a starter a year ago at that spot, to an outside defensive end spot. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and still 9 to go, a gain of 1. Roger Staubach in this game has come out and opened it up. He has the Cardinal defense, I think, sitting on their heels a little bit.
And yet everything's a pretty safe play. I know we say he opens it up, but nothing looks like it's made up in the huddle.
On a 2nd and 9 from the 13, this is Larry Brinson, who's coming at fullback, and Brinson is inside the 5-yard line. Larry Brinson giving Newhouse a break on that play, a breather. Has moved it to a 1st and goal, it appears.
Rafferty and company really pulled and got in that hole in good shape.
Brinson's a 3rd-year man from Florida. He was cut in '78, and then they brought him back. They had so much talent, and now they want him playing a lot of football for him. They're very confident when they have him in there.
When you ask people about the great offensive lines, the defensive players say, who's running behind it? There's one right there, Dorsett, that's watching, number 33.
You want to get back quicker the way Springs and company have been looking.
Competition never hurts a great athlete.
It is a 1st and goal. They got enough for the 1st and goal. They're at the 4-yard line. They bring in 3 tight ends on this play now. Dupree, Saldi, and Doug Cosby. All 3 of them have checked in. Three to nothing, the Cowboys to the lead, but trying to add to that. This is Saldi in motion. Little mix-up, I believe. Brinson has the football, but that play just didn't look right, did it, Tom?
I believe it's a fumble, and I believe Jankowski may have come up with the football. At least he thinks he did.
That was Brinson that had the football. Let's see what happened on it.
You're right on the line of scrimmage. Folks, you be the judge. Boy, good penetration by St. Louis. I believe that was Pollard. See if the ball comes up and is a live one. Worley looks like he's being pinned from behind. Nope.
No fumble, but tough sledding. 2nd and goal from the 4. No gain on that last play. That's Saldi again. This is a give to Newhouse. Newhouse is in for the touchdown. Robert Newhouse bouncing off of a Cardinal, taking it in. And Dallas now with a 9-0 lead.
Same place, different play. Oh, they pulled a guard left like they were going outside and ran inside on a Lawless. Or Pat Donovan, the tackle, pulled outside and they ran back inside. A pretty cute play for a goal line rush. Watch the lineman pull like they're going outside. And then they get a good trap block there by number 66. That's Lawless. Pretty good execution.
And Septian, who hit a 38-yard field goal earlier to attempt the point after. Carano will hold, but a mix-up. Carano is the third holder that Septian has had this year. They started out with Waters, then they had Robert Steele, and now they're to Carano, and that can mess up a kicker sometimes.
I think it would really mess up, you know, a great driver in golf if somebody else teed the ball up for him. That's what we're really talking about.
And so Carano has inherited that role. Robert Steele was picked up by Minnesota as Bud Wilkinson's team down now 9-0. Septian with the point after attempt. He missed one last week against Pittsburgh, but he got this one. Well, after the Aaron Kyle interception, the Cowboys marched 59 yards, and they now have a 10-0 lead. As back deep, we have Willard Harrell. He's joined there by Thomas Lott as Septian ready to kick off. Let's check that. Roy Green has dropped back there. He was shaken up earlier in this game, but he's now returned. He's back there with Harrell.
You know, Septian's been getting pretty good distance on these kicks. He reached the end zone with numero uno. Uh-oh.
And there's kind of a squib type. That's tough to handle, isn't it?
I'd say.
And Harrell's going to bring it out. Harrell out to the 10. He's in trouble. But he did get it across the 15-yard line as Green looked like a shortstop trying to field the ball. Well, the Rogers Coliseum.
Guys in dresses on urethane wheels. What was that?
Now, wait a minute. From the 18. Anderson and Morris, the running backs, hard again on first down, trying to hit Pat Tilley. He's out of bounds. The Cardinals have been throwing on first down almost every time, Tom, but they're just not getting that offense rolling.
Look at Cliff Harris. He wanted to make sure everybody was friendly in that Cardinal bench as he goes back. Boy, he really likes young Aaron Mitchell, though, Gary.
He's his kind of player, isn't he?
Well, he can stick Aaron Mitchell in the things that he would like to have done, like hitting people and let the other rookie do it.
Bill Walsh, his first game, and they're leading Minnesota 9-0. He said they'd open up, and Washington's picked up some points against Houston. And New Orleans, well, Atlanta's now on the board. Tim Mazzetti kicking a field goal. Second down, 10 from the 18. This is Morris. And Morris, well, he just snowed under on that play.
Randy White came all the way from the offside. Jimmy Hart right now is 2 of 4 passes for 11 yards, 1 interception, 2 for 5 now, 2 for 5 passes. And they just haven't gotten the offense going. They've moved the ball a little bit on the ground, but you can't live by the ground alone, somebody once said.
Third down and 7. Well, Larry Wilson told us yesterday, the former great All-Pro safety, that he felt the defense was in mid-season form, but he was concerned that the offense wasn't quite ready yet.
They better get Mel Gray working on this Aaron Mitchell, the rookie, over here and get some action.
From the 21 on a 3rd and 7, 7:47 to go till halftime. The NFL Today returning at halftime. And here is Wayne Morris. O.J. Anderson, I'm sorry. And Anderson out to the 50. He breaks it out to the 45-yard line. What a run by the rookie. We have a flag thrown. He may have had a penalty for throwing the ball.
Who cares? He went off Bob Young's side, off that left side of the line. Let's take a look and see what happens. Steve goes across to the trap block. Young seals off the right side. Watch this move here. Again, we said it's 4.35 40. 216-pounder. Hughes finally makes the tackle. Man, I'm telling you, this rookie can play a little bit.
We have delay of game, spiking the ball, offense, first down.
Don't ask me what I think about the call, okay? Whether it was on Dallas or St. Louis, I think a little emotion is part of the game, but this is a great-looking young running back. O.J. Anderson from Miami, the first 1,000-yard rusher the school ever had, and Chuck Foreman went to school there.
So the first down will be at the 49. They lose 5 yards on the delay of game, but shows the emotion of O.J. Anderson. Hard on first down. He's throwing to Gray, but the fence Very well that time by Benny Barnes. He had to get rid of that football, Tom. Pressure was really coming after Jim Hart.
From the safety, it was Hughes that put on the pressure. Ball was thrown pretty well. I didn't think Mel Gray was running full speed. He looks like he's worried about that thigh or something a little bit. Watch, look for number 42. He gets clipped by Steve just as he was trying to get on number 17.
2nd and 10. Boy, Terry Steve may have saved Jim Hart a real shot on that play.
Might have saved his life.
2nd and 10. Mel Gray, you mentioned he wasn't running that well. He's had some hamstring trouble and didn't play the last 2 preseason games.
He used to eat the Cowboys up. That's
9 touchdown passes against him. Not too bad, huh? Here's a give now to Wayne Morris, and Morris inside the Dallas end of the field. Larry Cole coming over to make the stop.
interesting to know what a young rookie running back can do to the whole team and the whole stadium. That run, even though there was a penalty on the end of it, I didn't think it delayed the game too much. I thought it was rather an interesting time to get in a great replay of a young player. But
3rd down and 7.
He's turned on that offensive line, and now they're saying, hey, Deerdorf is saying, let's go. Let's keep it on the ground. We can block these guys.
Well, you saw that run on film of the 80-yard gallop that he went for a touchdown. It was called back in the preseason, and that ignited the team that night.
That's right.
3rd down and 7. Hart setting up. Protection is there. Gray, he gets loose, and Gray is hit by his own man at the 31-yard line, but Mel Gray, showing the great moves that he has, really was able to shake the defender on that play.
I think Wayne Morris comes down trying to help him and hits him in the back. Mel used to run about a 9.200 when at the University of Missouri. I would imagine he's more like a 9.5 or 6 now. But he always had that great long stride and could drive the defensive backs crazy. In this case, he fell down, Benny Barnes. And watch Morris now. Trying to help out his buddy. He actually stuffs him.
Look at that. That catch extends his streak to 77. And now the Cardinals starting to come to life. 1st down from the 30-yard line of Dallas. This is Morris trying to go outside. Cliff Harris is over there, but Morris picks up 5 yards. Boy, did Harris get over there in a hurry.
And did he make a smart move? He started grabbing by the helmet, started grabbing by the nose guard, but Harris slipped around and gets the top of the shoulder pads instead. Watch this now. Here's Morris making a good move, bouncing outside. Now watch Harris start to say, I'm going to take his head off, then, maybe I better get on the shoulder pad. Clever.
2nd down, 5 from the 25. 5:48 left till halftime. The Cowboys with a 10-0 lead, but the Cardinals with their most impressive drive. They start out in that I formation, stay in it. Look out. Hart in trouble, and he got rid of it. Well, I don't know. Was he in control? Or...
Great play by Hart. Henderson blitzed and had him around the ankles, but the quarterback was not down. You know, he surely has the right to set up and finish the throwing motion if he isn't knocked silly. Now watch this. Sets up. Tight end blocks for him. Chandler here. He gets rid of one person for a moment, and then Henderson has him by the feet.
Well, that's a rule that's, I'm sure, going to be debated all year. In control and grasping him, and that's the 2 criteria they use for whether or not the play should be stopped.
Yes.
3rd and 5 from the 25, but Hart showing some resourcefulness on that play. Hart with a protection, throwing complete to Al Chandler, and Chandler's got the 1st down. The big tight end moves it to the 17-yard line, and Randy Hughes, the strong safety, playing in place of the injured Charlie Waters, there to make the tackle.
Boy, watch the St. Louis offensive line, Gary. They really go to work this time. Hart needs it. 3rd and 6 against the best 3rd down defense in the country. Watch this. Chandler moves to the right to tight end. Morris moved up to pick up a blitzer and stay right in the middle. You watch this battle on the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, they go out and get it. This is the tight end now in the isolate for the 1st down. Hughes in pretty good shape, but he's just beaten a little bit.
Chandler was 16 catches a year ago for St. Louis. So 1st down at the 17-yard line. Gray and Tilley at the top of the screen are split out. Fake to Anderson. Hart throwing to Gray. Almost picked off by Tom Henderson.
You know where he ends up, don't you? In Amarillo.
And it wouldn't have taken him long to get there.
No, about 9.5. What a great athlete. Make no mistake. A lot of people say, he talks too much and all. He can deliver. He's a great player. Now, Hart really thinks he can get it past him. And he decides to zip it instead of lob it. And Henderson gets somehow over there and almost picks it off.
Hart now 4 of 10 for 37 yards, 1 interception, and a close second one. You can see it, 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. Linebacking core for Dallas, they only have about 6 good ones who can run.
Boy.
There's Chandler jumping into the tight end spot. Gray at the bottom of the screen. Tilley to the top. This is Anderson. Anderson to the 10 and looked like maybe more as all of a sudden that hole opened up and Larry Cole derailed him. But is this Anderson putting on a show?
And watch the SMU back Morris take him through. Watch the fullback number 24 lead this rookie through there. White can't hold him. Larry Cole makes a great diving tackle, or that might be a touch. Well, I think Harris was down. He'd been blocked.
62 yards for O.J. Anderson on 9 carries. 3rd down, 3 from the 10-yard line. A give to Morris. Morris going for the 1st down, and he got it.
All right, guess who got the key block? Watch Anderson's block. A rookie now with great composure has made the shift from the wishbone to the regular tee. Now watch, look at this, number 32 in there. Blocking, I believe he was blocking on the linebacker there, on D.D. Lewis, and opened the hole up.
They're going to measure to see if he got it. We initially thought that his forward progress was enough, but we're going to have to wait and see. He'd have a 1st and goal if he did make it, just outside the 7-yard line. He did get it.
What a gutsy drive this has been for the Cardinals, though.
Well, the Cardinals down 10-0, and the thing that turned it around, as you mentioned, Tom, was that burst by O.J. Anderson, and the whole team started to come to life.
Those offensive linemen just go crazy for that. Their wives aren't yelling at them when the games are over, you know? They're giving them steak dinners and being nice to them.
Well, you know, Wayne Morris said this of O.J. Anderson. He's a 215-pound Terry Metcalf, and here he goes again, and he's going to get to the 5-yard line, and that's all. A gain of 2. Interior of that Dallas defense. Dallas wearing their new blue jerseys. This is the first time they've worn them with the numbers on the shoulders.
Now, here's what happens if a back uses second effort and gets caught where he can't get down on the ground. That's not good either. If it ain't there, forget it. Hello.
Just can't. So they have a 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Tilley, Gray, wide receivers. There's Chandler jumping around with Morris and Anderson behind Jim Hart. 3:50 to go, 1st half. There's Anderson trying to go outside. He is going to be dropped at the 2-yard line. He fumbled the ball, but I believe it's blown dead. It will be ruled dead at that point, but it looked like, Tom, for an instant, he might make it in.
What I liked was the ad-lib move where he sort of shifts gears. Here's a quick draw. Watch this move right here. A little stutter, and now he changes, and he's running all over the place on those shoes, and I'm telling you, he's a hard guy to pin up because you don't know where he's going to go, and he doesn't either.
He lost a shoe on that play. He lost his shoe. That may have been the difference.
I think Bud Wilkerson will personally buy him all the shoes he wants.
So now it's 3rd and goal at the 2. They have to get Anderson out of the lineup. They have Harrell, Theodis Brown, and Wayne Morris as the 3 running backs behind Hart. We approach 3 minutes now in this 1st half remaining to be played. Play action, Hart. Touchdown. Catch is made by Al Chandler. What a play that was by Hart.
And especially for Chandler, the tight end, that's in the position that's been their problem.
4 touchdown catches and only 16 grabs, so he's been a big money receiver for him. Flag on the play is Mike Wood. Attempts the point after. Let's see what the penalty's all about. Wood evidently indicating it's against Dallas, so the point will stand. And St. Louis now is on the scoreboard, and they're right back in this one. An 82-yard drive that time.
Offsides, number 25, defense. Good.
And so Woods, point after, makes it a 10 yards. The Cardinals come back 82 yards, and O.J. Anderson, that's the name to remember, as we have Wade Manning and Ron Spriggs back deep for this kick from Steve Little. And Manning having trouble with it. He's not going to bring that one out.
Big kick, huh? Large kickoff, 5 yards deep in the end zone.
That's one thing they needed. A year ago, they weren't doing that. Washington still hanging on to that lead over Houston. 27-13, and now Miami is on the scoreboard against Buffalo after that early long return on a blocked field goal. New Orleans still leading Atlanta 21-10. I'll tell you, you get behind the Saints and you can be in some real trouble.
All right, there's a 3-0 job. This is Thomas on a 25-yard run. That should be more than 3-0 then. 25-yard runs are supposed to be 7 points.
10-7 our score with 2:48 remaining till halftime. We'll go to Brent Irvin Jane at halftime. Here is Staubach to Robert Newhouse. And I think right now it's quite apparent, Tom, that that old word momentum may have shifted a little bit in this game.
Hey, that was almost a lateral from Staubach, and Newhouse walked away from the ball, and the linebackers went after it like it was a live pumpkin. If a lateral, you got to be careful because the defense can at least get possession. They can't advance it like a fumble, but they can fall on it.
37-year-old Staubach, there's his stats, 6 of 11 for 102 yards. All he had last year was 25 touchdown passes.
61% or whatever it was.
Top-rated passer in the NFL. And a superhuman being. 2nd down 10 now. Preston Pearson has come into the backfield along with Robert Newhouse. And from the 20-yard line, Dallas. This is a give to Pearson, and Pearson is hit by Tim Carney. Good reaction that time by St. Louis. No gain on the play, and it'll come to a 3rd down.
And here's a very tricky runner. We all know that Preston Pearson on the draw, he was the starter before Dorsett got his chance in game number 10 of that rookie year. But right now, I think young Anderson has picked up the entire Cardinal team. Those hitters in the linebacking core begin to bang people.
Tim Carney, the leading tackler a year ago, his biggest problem has been overrunning plays. But when they went to the 3-4, that helped him. And now they're going to wind it down to the 2-minute warning as we have a 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. So the 2-minute warning, SOS at speed of sound. How fast do they go on that?
Well, the speed of sound, I am told, varies between, between 740 and 8 something according to the atmosphere and the altitude and all those things.
And our producer, Bob Stenner, who will be producing that, tells you what else? Temperature?
Yeah, temperature, but can he go fast? That's all I want to know. Will they go fast?
We'll know. That'll be an interesting show.
SOS, sound of speed barrier.
3rd and 10, 2-minute warning has just been executed. 10-7, the Cowboys are the lead. Here's Staubach back, pressure put on by Dawson, and Roger Worley defending on a play, a catch by Preston Pearson. That's going to be just short of the 1st down.
Where did he come from? The dressing room? Preston Pearson goes in the game on 3rd down. As the most wanted man, he almost made the 1st down. If he doesn't fall down, I believe Preston makes the 1st down. Let's see where he comes from. Look for number 26. Must be to the right of the screen. He's slipping through. Here's the blocking. Rafferty taking the Yankowski around. Here's the ball. He has to make a diving catch. The ball was not thrown very well, but he did make the catch, didn't he? A little short.
Danny White will go back and kick. Dallas has 2 timeouts left. St. Louis has all 3 of theirs remaining. Roy Green is going back deep. And Thomas Lott. White with the kick.
Oh.
Beautiful kick. Fair catch is called for. This is going to be Willard Harrell. No, he's not going to call for the fair catch. He's going to run it. And at the 30-yard line, I thought he was going to.
I thought he did.
Well, I'm not sure. And at the 30-yard line, the Cardinals will cut up Henderson get down on that.
Boy, was he had him zeroed in, didn't he? Hart is 5 of. Here's Henderson now. Look at this. That Henderson is around that ball, isn't he?
I wonder if he thought Harrell would call for the fair catch.
He didn't care, I guess.
From the 30-yard line, the Cardinals with the ball. They trail 10-7. Hart giving up. And here he comes again. O.J. Anderson all the way out to the 39-yard line, and he has turned this game around momentarily with his outstanding running. As you see the time, 55 seconds remaining. He was picked up on waivers.
You better get up and start working out or something to get excited.
2nd and 1 from the 39. They're a long ways yet from his range. Hart with the protection, dumps it off to Wayne Morris. Morris having trouble with Bob Bruni. That pass hung up Morris a little bit. They didn't get out of bounds with that one. The clock's still running. Now they stopped it. Timeout is going to be. He's got great poise. Look at those 3rd down conversions, would you? 7 for 8. In the game now is Gary Parrish, number 89. This is O.J. Anderson again, and Anderson trying to get the 1st down. He did not. And so it's going to come to a 4th down with 38 seconds. Looks like we have Al Chandler, who was shaken up on that play. And so they're going to have to get rid of the football. 1 timeout left for the Cardinals, 2 for Dallas.
I'm not a person that says don't twist that dial, but what I can remember about St. Louis-Dallas games, particularly in St. Louis, the last half is usually like the bazaar of all nations. It is the wildest scoring fiasco of all time, so I would imagine next half will be rather interesting.
Well, they went into overtime here last year inside the 25-yard line. 38 seconds left before halftime.
Ooh, here they come. Good kick.
Wade Manning from the 20. He's going to try to get outside. He's got a good block, but Joe Bostic, 71, is over there along with Kurt Allerman. And Manning could not get the corner turned on the far side. A 40-yard kick by Little, who earlier in this game had one that rolled for a distance of 55 yards.
St. Louis fans thought that Little had been fouled by Cosby. The big tight end came through on the pressure, but I think Little, the Razorback, just fell down and made it look decent.
Steve Little said that he'd like to take over all the kicking chores, and Bud Wilkinson, I'm sure, will watch closely. He wanted to have only 1 kicker as he entered the '79 season, but was forced to keep 2.
Gives you a roster place to keep an extra linebacker or running back or quarterback, which are important parts of the engine.
We should mention the Cardinals have only 2 quarterbacks. Dallas with 2 timeouts remaining. Preston Pearson, Ron Springs, the running backs from the shotgun. Staubach to Drew Pearson. That'll be a 1st down. Drew Pearson now has become the number 2. The big red line, the cheerleaders here.
Bob Hayes.
Bob Hayes.
Bob Hayes. Drew Pearson's down 2nd place. Hayes was 1st. Only because he ran the 103.5 or whatever it was. What a great receiver Robert was.
He's wearing the number that Wade Manning's wearing now. From the 47-yard line. Staubach from the shotgun. Charlie Davis comes after him. Far side, Tony Hill, Lee Nelson, and pass interference. Lee Nelson at the 40 now with 15 seconds. That's giving Dallas a real crack now, setting up a field goal.
Boy, Tony Hill played it perfectly, too. He looked back over his shoulder like, oh, come on, the guy's hanging on me, and he was just a little bit. Watch the big rush. Roger gets the arm hit, too, and I wonder how his arm feels. Just hanging on him a little bit, and if Hill had really raised heck, the official might have walked away from him.
Well, that gives him the automatic 1st down. It was Nelson who Staubach picked on a couple of years ago, threw 18 passes at his position.
I think that's Charlie Davis coming from the nose on a twist. Roger got hit pretty hard on that, didn't he?
Roger in the preseason suffered a concussion against Denver, but he's come back from that all right. So from the 42-yard line now, Dallas thinking a field goal with 15 seconds. They have 1 timeout remaining. Staubach far side, Hill again. Nelson over there, same play, but not the same result. Staubach now 8 of 14 for 133 yards. You see the time remaining.
Got a lot of plays off in like 20 seconds, haven't the Cowboys, huh?
There he is.
Do you know he's the best racquetball player in professional sports? He took everybody on out in Vegas at that tournament and beat baseball, basketball.
Well, he was 3 of 6 in the preseason, and of course last week a big kick for him. He'd had a shaky preseason, to be honest with you, and then he beat Pittsburgh with 2 seconds left, and it really gave this team a shot in the arm.
They got a lot of pressure on them. Kickers are no longer just strange people, you know, on the team.
How about Jim Bakken? He wasn't a bad racquetball player. Here's Staubach over the middle to Billy Joe Dupree. Dupree close to the 1st down, and now with 5. Well, this is going to be a 50-yard attempt.
It's a big kick.
This will be the longest of his career. His longest is a 48-yarder.
Carano holding?
Yes, sir. 5 seconds. Septien's kick.
Got a chance.
It's going to go wide left. You had to wait, though. He had enough distance on it. And that is the remaining time of our 1st half, as it is all over in this 1st half. And what an entertaining